Hey guys, my name is Jasmine, and today we're going to be making a game based on surrealism and making creatures. So to get started, you need at least 2 sheets of paper, an eraser, a drawing pencil, which is also a graphite pencil, a Sharpie, crayons, and color pencils. So before we really jump into this, I'm going to tell you guys about surrealism, what it is, what it was. So Surrealism is an art movement that's based on things that are kind of crazy, kind of like what you might dream about. It's all about silly and absurd things, things that might not really make sense in your mind. A word that is often used when you're talking about surrealism is there's a word called juxtaposition, which might be kind of hard to say. I might fumble over that a little bit, but juxtaposition is a contrast of 2 things that might not go together. So maybe a fish flying, you don't really think about a fish that might be flying like a bird might fly. So that is juxtaposition, and that's also something that you might see in surrealism. So to play this game, you're gonna take one of your sheets of paper and you're gonna make a grid. We're gonna tear up this paper later and you'll see how. So we're gonna make a grid. You can do however many you want, but these are going to turn into our cards. So I'm going to make a grid of 6, and then I'm going to tear this up a little bit later. And you're going to draw some simple things that you might find in your everyday world, some little objects. One thing might be cotton candy. Cotton candy is pretty cool. So I'm going to draw really quickly. You can either draw or write this part. You don't have to draw it if you don't want to draw it. I'm going to do both actually. So cotton candy, and what we're going to end up doing when we're done with our cards here, we're going to tear them apart, and then we're going to pick 2 and we're going to draw that, and that's going to be our creature, our thing that we're going to make. So I have cotton candy. I'm going to do a mug, like a coffee or tea mug, or hot cocoa. Hot cocoa is cool too. Have a mug, some steam coming out of it. What else? I'm going to do a flower. You don't have to do what I'm doing, you can do whatever you want to do. Whatever objects you want to think of. Other things, and they all don't have to be totally silly. Like, I feel like nothing that I've done so far is silly in its own right, but when you're going to start combining, things might get a little weird and in the realm of juxtaposition. So what else? Let's do a crayon. Pillow. And I have one more. And again, if you want to do more than 6, you can do more than 6. I think you should do at least 6, because when you start picking them and everything, it might be kind of weird if you have 4 things and you pick 2 and then that's only half of what you have. I want you guys to have options of what you could draw. So far I have a mug, cotton candy, flower, crayon, pillow, and let's see, my last one, I'm going to do a rainbow. There's a rainbow. So those are my 6 cards. So if you have scissors, you can cut up your cards, but I'm just gonna go ahead and tear them. So to tear these, I'm gonna make sure that my folds are pretty neat and clean. I'm gonna go back and forth so it's easier to tear. And your tears don't have to be perfect, it's fine if they're not perfect. These are cards for you. So there's my mug, there's my crayon. And when we start doing this, when we start drawing and everything, you can color it if you want to color it, but you also can pick more than 2 cards. You can pick 3 cards if you want, pick 4 if you want. You could make something really cool and a combination of all your cards maybe. You can make a whole set of cards. You can make like 100 cards if you want to make 100 cards. That'd be really cool. I'm not making 100 cards. I could if I wanted. So, there we go. Have all 6 of my cards. So I'm gonna mix them up just a little bit, and when I draw my cards, I'm not gonna look because I want to be a little surprised. I want to kind of think off the top of my head what I can make whenever I pull them. So I'm gonna make my own surrealism piece. Excuse me, wow. So here are my cards. I'm not gonna look at them. I'm not gonna look at them. I have 1, I have 2. I'm gonna lay my other ones to the side in case I want to use them in another piece later. So I have a pillow, I have cotton candy. In my head, they're honestly kind of similar. They're both really soft. But something that sounds a little absurd to me is a cotton candy pillow, or a pillowcase full of cotton candy. You don't really think cotton candy should be like on your pillow. It might get stuck in your hair, it's really sticky, it's kind of gross. I wouldn't want cotton candy in my hair. So, let's see here. Or, I have another idea. What about sleeping cotton candy? That sounds really silly to me. It sounds pretty absurd. Sleeping cotton candy. Cotton candy isn't alive, it's a food, it's candy. I think it's pretty silly. I'm gonna do one more. I kinda like that a lot. So, I'm gonna grab another piece of paper. I still have my cards here, still have the 6 that I had. I'm gonna mix them up. And again, I didn't color my last piece, I did it pretty quickly. But if you want to spend more time on yours, you can color it if you want. I just want to make something else that's pretty silly and full of juxtaposition. So I have all my cards, I'm not gonna look. I have this one, I have this one. I'm gonna put all my cards away. And I have cotton candy again. I don't want cotton candy again, so I'm gonna pull again. So that's why if you have more than one set of cards, or if you have a lot of cards, you might not pull the same thing. Get something different. I have a pillow again. Oh my gosh, the luck. Okay, guys. I have these 3 cards. I have a flower. Okay. So I have crayon, I have flower. I'm gonna get another piece of paper. Okay, crayon and a flower. Let's see. I'm gonna turn my paper this way. And I'm gonna get out a crayon so I can look at it. And if I have a flower top, with the petals and everything, but then its stem is a crayon with the wrapper and everything. And I'm also gonna add a face to this. And there is my flower crayon. And that's pretty based in surrealism too. So I made 2 pieces that are kind of surrealistic. It's very juxtaposy. They don't really make sense in your head. They don't really exist. So that's our Surrealism Creature card game. You guys, like I said before, you guys can make as many cards as you want, so you can pull from different ideas. You can pull more than 2 cards. Both these times I pulled only 2 cards, but if you want, you can pull 3, you can pull 4. You can make a big collection of your own surrealism pieces. And once again, surrealism is something that's silly, it's absurd. It might be something that you might dream about, something that's not real. And juxtaposition, which is often connected to surrealism, is something that is contrasted like a flying fish. And I hope you guys enjoyed this game. I know I did, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.